Hey Internet, I just got back from a long bike ride and I thought I'd refresh with a scotch. I also wanted to take some time to talk about what different woods do in scotch and the idea of putting an age statement on whiskey. All the whiskeys that I have here have an age statement on them, so it's kind of a good way to understand what some of those woods look like. Right here, this is a cask strength, it's a Mortlock, and the color on this one is kind of what a lot of people think of when they think of scotch. Dark, rich, amber color, and this is 11 years old, and that's 11 years old in sherry barrels. Sherry barrel, it's a single cask. Over here, this is 17 years old in American oak, hogshead barrel, and you can kind of see the difference in what's happening in that kind of different lighter wood treatment. Now, it's kind of a tricky thing when you're talking about what to expect in a no age statement whiskey, because there's an example where both of these whiskeys have no filtration. They don't have any sort of additives, and the younger one is much darker than the older one. Here's another example right here. This is kind of a tricky one. This is also American oak, and it's only aged for 6 months. However, it's aged in a barrel that is 1 gallon for 6 months, so you can kind of get an idea of what that does. Conversely, this is 10 years old in an American oak barrel, but that's a full-size barrel. Actually, it's probably a hogshead, so it's a little bit bigger than an American-size standard barrel. Perhaps Sullivan's Cove is one of the easiest ways to understand the difference. Right here, this is a wine cask. Right here, this is an American oak cask. You kind of look at them side by side and really see what those differences are. These are both about 10 years old. You wouldn't know it to just look at the label. However, very small label on the side that says when it was distilled and when it was bottled. So this is sold as a no age statement, but technically you can figure it out. So when you're talking about a no age statement whiskey and you get something like this, it might not have a 10 on it, but how would you know what to expect? This one is very, very straw colored and very, very clear. And this is spirit caramel. And inside of this jar, you'll find a very sticky, very gooey substance that you can put on a no age statement whiskey, or even in the case of most whiskeys, a whiskey that has an age statement on it, to make it kind of have the same color as everything on the shelf. But really, let's talk about what it really is. It's all about changing the perception of value. So I just put a little drop of this. It's so sticky, that's how hard it is to get off of there, inside of this bottle of Lechig. And you can see it's kind of dripping down in there, but let's just give that a little shake. And look at that. It turned into, all of a sudden, a 17-year-old whiskey, or it turned into an 11-year-old whiskey like this. So, you know, I can keep adding that spirit caramel until this looks like a 30-year-old whiskey. Doesn't change the aroma, especially not of the very peaty, very, very intense Lechig. So this is just kind of a general idea that when you see a no age statement whiskey and you're looking at that bottle, you're going to want to see what the age of any sort of wood might be. Maybe it'll tell you that it was finished in something for 2 years. You're going to want to see if it says that it doesn't have caramel coloring in it. That's pretty important. You kind of want to avoid this. Again, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not true. It's not real. And there's no need for it. And the last thing you're going to want to do is check the internet for reviews. You're going to want to see if that's a whiskey that people actually like, or if it's something that is just kind of getting thrown out at the duty-free store for no reason. Anyway, I'm going to drink this Lechig now. Great post-workout one. And it's because I don't want to put it back in there and wonder why it's this color. Anyway, goodbye, internet. Bilgy.